All right, I think I am live. Welcome everyone to In the Cards with the Viberarian. I'm Joelle. I'm going to give it just a few minutes here to see. Oh, and I'm just excited. I just realized I have 400 subscribers. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Thank you for supporting the channel and for coming here and being part of the Good Vibe Tribe. That just happened today, so that really makes my heart very happy. So, my name is Joelle, and I'm the Viberarian. I'm here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. If you're in the chat room, if you could let me know if the sound is coming through. I think my moderator is off this evening, so let me. Oh, okay, it does look like I am together. Oh, hey, Jessica. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. So tonight, last week was awesome. We were dealing with the eclipse, and Letitia and I had a great reading. I'm here today because we are still in this eclipse portal, and I don't know about you, but there has been some intensity happening definitely in my life, and I can only assume probably in yours as well. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Miss Hazel. All right, I'm seeing the regular folks. A Good Vibe Tribe is showing up. So I'm just going to get right into it because I have a new deck today and I'm excited to use it this first time, but it is a companion deck to a deck that I've already used on this channel. So I wanted to look at, we're in this eclipse window. We've got the sun, we've got the moon, starting with the solar, and it was a hybrid eclipse last week. We've got the May 5th or 4th lunar eclipse. So there's this balance of masculine and feminine, sun, moon. And we're looking at the external world with the solar eclipse and then the internal world with our feeling state. So I wanted to do a balanced reading today using these decks because I think it really exemplifies the energy that we're talking about. And just sharing with you some of the messages that have been coming through the collective consciousness through my clients and circle. We've got the number 33, 333 has been coming in very strongly. The energy of 8 and infinity, the infinity sign, and recirculation of energy as above, so below. Looking at the shadow as well as the light and not denying or putting on the back burner or suppressing away those things that have been painful. Grandfather and father energy from the ancestral realms has been showing up for people. So I don't know if you're getting any synchronicities from any of this, but I just was guided to share some of what is trending. Owl imagery as well, white owl specifically energy, and then I had a dragonfly come and make a really magical experience for me as well. So please share your syncs and energy that you've gotten. And then I wanted to share, I don't know if you know about this book, Soul Guidance. It is a devotional type affirmation book. It's daily, but it's not yearly, so you can use it over and over again. And it's funny how the messages seem to fit from year after year. And a lot of people share these on Instagram and places like that. But so I wanted to share today's April 26th, which is an 8. So that 8 is coming up again. The new is beckoning. Arrival of a brand new opportunities is an invitation to step out of your comfort zone and create a new. Not having any previous experience makes this an enchanting journey of discovery as your curiosity guides you through. Fearlessly embrace the new in a childlike manner, full of excitement and joy. As the new world ushers you in, surrender to co-creating something brand new in unknown territory. Openness and vulnerability are key to the alchemic recipe for magical manifestations. Your new vibration is waiting to break through in many forms. Answer the call. And the affirmation is, I'm willing to co-create authentically in the new world. Okay, so that's an awesome message. It really piggybacks on last week, which was like about this kind of tower spark, a transformation moment. You can check out last week's in the cards if you want to catch up to the energy. So The two decks that I'm using are by LON. LON is an artist, and these are the Sacred Geometry decks. I did not have the relationship deck before. I had just the regular one. So today will be my first time looking at the relationship side. So it felt very much like looking at the emotional context and then the structure that we build out of our emotions. So I thought that it would be very balanced. And it's interesting because the first time I ordered this deck, I got this deck, which the Amazon sorter clearly had it wrong or mislabeled, because I sent it back and asked for the correct deck to come, and they still sent it back. And I thought, there's no accidents, right? But I really was not at that point in time wanting to focus on like the relationship part of my conversations. You know, the twin flame journey can be very interesting at times. We have to step away from it. But so I returned it, and finally they got me the right one. It was like third time was the charm. So I've had this now for several years. Well, it was finally time to go ahead and bring back in the relationship stuff. And it's not because I had any like anti-relationship sentiment, but you know, the decks that I'm guided to get really come to me for a specific time period when I'm going to be delivering messages. So apparently today is the start of that time period. So I appreciate you being with me. So what I'm going to do here is get two cards, and it's interesting because they do have the same exact background. So that's going to make it interesting. You know, I imagine at some point I'll wind up just merging both decks and reading from them as one, but not today. So I'm going to first get cards, two cards from this deck, and then I'll shuffle and get two cards from that deck. And then we'll start to read, see what the balancing messages are for us in this now moment. And again, thank you for the Good Vibe Tribe is here. If you have any comments or anything you want to share, please do. All right. Matter of fact, if Jessica, if you're still in chat, and Miss Hazel, if you're still in chat, I will have each of you pick the card number. Jessica, I'll have you pick the number. It's going to be 1, 2, or 3 for this first draw. And then I'll be coming to you next for also pile 1, 2, or 3 from the relationship deck, Miss Hazel. So if the two of you happen to still be in that, go ahead and put a 1, 2, or 3 in there. While I give it just a second, let me just say, I'm wearing my birthday shirt. This was gifted to me. Okay, number 3, yes, I'll shuffle and come right back. This was gifted to me by my sorority sister, Marie, who has a business, and this is her All Things Chakra shirt. So I'm popping my crown, my throat, my heart, my solar plexus, and my sacral. Okay, so awesome. And then I have a beautiful piece of organite that I ordered off of Etsy, and I can't remember the store name, but I'll tell you, this is beautiful. The energy of it is so, so powerful. I love it. So if I could come back to it, I'll put it in the description in the links for that. Okay, so we have for Miss Jessica, she's choosing pile number 3. Here we go. For our collective highest good and the highest good of all. All right. Okay, I've got yours picked out. Now, for the relationship, Miss Hazel said number 2. All right. Shuffles here. These are real snappy because they're very new. Last shuffle. All right, pile number 2. Let me put this far away from the one so I don't get confused. All right, so we've got the top and bottom of each pile, and we'll start with the top from each one. So the first, oh, I love it, Divine Feminine. Beautiful. I love it. It's interesting because this energy actually came up in the foundational deck that I was using for like the structure and the more masculine component. So this speaks to me so much of like how we're embodying the new template, which is a merged template where we are femininely and building from our intentions and emotional state, and masculinely bringing those things into the form, the magnetic and the electric working in balance and harmony. So I love that that came out in this side of the energy view. You can see so much beautiful pinks and soft compassion energy. It says here, the frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. Ooh, beautiful. I love the energy. I could just feel it's so soft. I felt it in my heart. And it's beautiful because I put some heart opening essential oil on just a few hours ago as well. So I love this energy. It's got the 3, which of course we talk about, the balanced co-creation with the divine, the masculine and feminine, the holy trinity of sorts, the triquetra. There's so much symbolism in 3. 3 has been coming up, as I said. So let's see what the guidance is in the, and this is Miss LON here. You can check out LON Art. And this is just how she writes her name. So, all right. And it says 3-dimensional reality is based on the duality between opposites and their eternal movement towards union. Everything is created in pairs: male, female, water, spirit, empty, full, dark, light, and so on. Without the tension caused by the magnetic push and pull of duals, there would be no movement, and without movement, there would be no life as we know it. When the push and pull of opposites is equal, a state of balance is achieved. For humans to live harmoniously with each other, the masculine and feminine have to reach a state of union, both outward in relationship with each other, as well as inward in a balanced state of heart, mind, and soul. The masculine and feminine attributes inside all of us have to be fully realized, understood, and expressed. Now that we are moving into a new energy, the enhanced qualities of these two opposites in human nature are emerging and urging us to let go of the roles we have traditionally assigned in the past, allowing a new masculinity and a new femininity to arise. The divine feminine is fluid and receptive. It surrenders and opens and is able to easily give way and pull towards galaxies of emptiness and higher consciousness when facilitated by true divine masculinity. The feminine is intrinsically connected to the higher realms and Mother Earth, giving birth to life, ideas, expressions, and dreams. The color pink is associated with a universal love for oneself and others, with sweetness, with tenderness and care, all attributes that are associated with feminine qualities. Brighter pink brings in an aspect of aliveness, excitement, high energy, and power. There are various elements of the flower of life visible as reference to the 3-dimensional reality we are creating here on Earth. The light blue refers to our ability to express ourselves with honesty, tenderness, and kindness. Whew, that's beautiful, with kindness. The 4 stars in the corners refer to our form-based reality. The water in the background is representative of the emotional plane, the realm mostly associated with the feminine. And it is given a suggestion. It says to close your eyes and go inside yourself. The feminine nature is to love, nurture, and guide through intuition. Are you allowing this? Are you loving towards others? How about toward yourself? Do you express your femininity without holding back? Take some time tonight to do something loving and special for yourself to spark your femininity. Okay, I received that. So I am going to make my pamper bath, not just my usual bath. I'm going to make my pamper bath because the beautiful thing is I just, you know how when you pull your fresh sheets out of the dryer and they're going to be warm still and comfy and all snuggly and fresh. That's this day for me. So I'm going to relish and luxuriate in my beautiful space after I take a relaxing bath with some self-love bath salts that I have. So I received that guidance to move more deeply into my flow state, especially as I look to what I'm going to create into the world. I'm going to feel my reality into place. Okay, so now we'll go to the top for the relationship side. I'm really interested to, intuition. Okay, so here we have that 3 again, right? I love it. I'm looking at my little eye there over my shoulder and how it looks like the image sits in here as well. I get tickled because this is just really fun to see how Spirit uses these decks to have the conversation. It's a fun chat, let me say that. So, all right, so we've got that blue. For me, it's like a celestite color. It's also a Mother Mary and the High Priestess and the Sophia Wisdom. Yes, like the Sophia Mary blue is what's coming through as well, and the Mother Maiden Crone and the lunar cycles, but also that feeling state of our waters. This is a beautiful image here, and it's, you can see almost like a vibrational quality, the resonance of the ripple that's moving outwards ahead of the energy of form, like these outer rings. It's almost like the shock wave. And that's the other thing, our emotions move the waters, and that puts an impulse out ahead of us. And then what is returned to that comes through that frequency that it feels its way home, so to speak. So you want to make sure that you have that together. This is the energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the 3-dimensional reality. So that's the other thing they're saying, that is the veils are dropping, like the solar eclipse pushed us up a level in terms of people having a lot more sensitivity. And the people who know that you're sensitive are having an easier time than the people who don't understand that they're feeling all this extra stuff now as their extrasensory body continues to come more and more online as our density lightens. Okay, so let us see what it says here. It's beautiful. 27 is a 9, so that's about cycles ending and completional attainment. So, see here. I am intuitive. How's that for a strong statement? Intuition is the ability to know or sense something without any conscious reasoning. It can refer to inner insight, inner sensing, or having direct access to unconscious knowledge. It can also be described as our first instinct, how we respond to a new situation or person. Sometimes intuition speaks through flashes of knowing or moments of deja vu, or we find ourselves having a sneaky suspicion that something is not right without having a conscious reason for it. Goosebumps, a fluttering heart, a tight or sinking feeling in, I'm sure it's going to stay in our stomach. Yes, in our stomach. You know, they say the stomach is the second brain, like your gut, but I think our gut is, our intuitive notion is more powerful than the brain. It says these are a few of the physical responses that intuition can cause. While we perceive the three-dimensional or physical world through our senses, a multidimensional world requires the perception of our consciousness. A multidimensional reality is inclusive of intuition, which can interpret what goes on beyond what is obvious and conceivable via touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. Our intuition can be considered the sixth sense, referring to our ability to perceive all of the subtle energies that are part of multidimensionality. Okay, we're coming online. Our intuition, our gifts, our perceptive abilities. Matter of fact, I was working this weekend at Holistic Health and Wellness here in Marietta. I read up there in person 1 week in a month. And Dawn, the owner, was sharing with me that she had been having more intensity in her Reiki sessions with people, and then also just knowing different things. And so she found a quote. It was from April 23rd. Matter of fact, it's from this same book. I didn't even realize it. Soul Guidance. Hidden motives and intentions are surfacing with clear transparency. What was once easy to hide from plain sight is now coming into clear focus. The light is illuminating the shadows internally and externally as higher frequencies alchemize the unseen and unknown. Dark manipulative intentions cannot exist around the opposing energies of the purest intentions. Acknowledge and accept the arrival of this new awareness as it liberates you from the unauthenticity in your world. Allow the illusions to be dismantled without attachment. Okay, so whatever you sense, trust it, go with it. You don't have to make a big deal about it, and you also don't have to broadcast it, right? But it's like your inner guidance. It says turn left, go ahead and make that smooth left, right? Tapped into our intuitional, where to go? Our intuitional guidance system. Beautiful. Okay, so very strongly feminine energies here on both sides of the equation. We've got divine feminine and intuition. That's like the high priestess and the Sophia, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, all of them. Okay, so on to for the structure side with this divine feminine, we have number 2, sacral chakra. Okay, for the feminine, right? Showing up all out. We got that beautiful sacral creation space of our womb, our creative well, our chalice that is built to receive all of the downloads and things from cosmic consciousness in this beautiful orange primary chakra. Okay, and it says the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Okay, so we're bringing in that divine feminine wisdom to help us in terms of bringing our manifestations and creations into life. All right, yay, moderator showed up, hey, gooba woo. So, all right, so this is so interesting. I love it, it's so much feminine. And of course, people have been saying that their springtime is when the rabbits and all things are mating and frisky and out there, and people are starting to think about what they're gonna do with themselves for the summer. It's getting you inspired. So all of that energy of new life and a quickening of our pulses is happening for a reason. So use that because it's new time. Okay, so this was in the traditional deck. So the frequency, the flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect at the middle of each circle. There we go. See if I can get it to show up a little better with the lines. Okay. 13 that intersect at the middle of each circle, creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, The flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connection as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The color orange is associated with the sacred or sacral chakra located just below the navel. It is linked to our creativity, sexuality, and emotional world. Orange encourages movement and connection with others. It has a freeing effect on the body and mind, stimulating creative thinking, abundance, success, and appetite. Its sense is taste. So funny because yesterday had a whole conversation about the color orange, but it was talking about Tennessee orange in the SEC football world, right? And so we were talking about favorite colors. I know my moderator favorite color is orange. I was talking to Shannon, Heaven to Earth. She was in Tennessee, so there was a little Georgia-Tennessee rivalry coming along, and then that whole energy it was like a sparring, but it was a friendly sparring. It wasn't real division, right? It was just like a commonness even in the sparring, and able to come across lines of perceived division to be in a harmonious state. And that's really also what we're creating, is a reality where the harmonious state is emphasized rather than the divisional state of oppositional contrast, okay? So it says to try this, to close your eyes and take a deep breath and then let go with an audible sigh. So much power in the breath, right? Everything shifts in that moment of release. Bring your attention to your emotions. How do you feel? Are you expressing yourself the way you desire in your daily life? Are you inspired? What do you express? What do you do to express your creativity? How about your sexuality? Perhaps it is time for a new project or love affair. Okay, I'll take it. All right, now I have to laugh because I flipped the wrong one over in advance. So it's been sitting here looking at me the whole time. So I know what's coming up next. It's funny because it's a chakra card. Okay, so different decks, bottom of both decks after the shuffle, top of both decks after the shuffle. All right, I love the connectedness of this, the synchronicity, the balance and harmony of this, because we have our sacral chakra empowered to manifest out in the world through our solar plexus, third chakra. That's the yellow. Here comes the sun, right? Here comes the sun to shine light on those seeds and grow, and to bring it into till it and to fertilize it and to carry water and do all those things. That's where our third chakra comes from. And the sunflower, yellow and black, has come out a lot too, right? Yesterday, yes, we talked about breath. We talked about the yellow and black during our crystal matchmakers conversation on Monday. So here we are aligned to bring things up and out for this new beginning. So let's see what it says here. The self. I am powerful. So our other one was I am intuitive, right? Okay, and I am powerful. The solar plexus's chakra color is yellow, which helps us to think clearly, increase our awareness, and stimulate our curiosity. The third chakra strengthens our vitality, our life force, and our energy. It relates to our personal power, our mental abilities, and our sense of self. Its element is fire, so it is connected to our willpower, which fuels our progress in this world, our personal identity and our ego. It is located at the solar plexus where the diaphragm rests. Our sense of self and how we identify ourselves in relation to the world and others provide a powerful drive to realize personal desires and intentions. We need to remember that although friends, good colleagues, and a romantic mate can contribute to our sense of happiness and well-being, ultimately, true happiness comes from developing our own inner richness and wisdom. A balanced relationship must be based on equality and independence, not on inequality and neediness. Our task is to boldly venture into both our inner being and our outer world with courage, curiosity, and an open mind, learning about the world, ourselves, and others, and then uniting all of it together into a harmonious expression of life. Woo! That is beautiful. And I heard that too, that song, Miss Hazel said, "Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo." Little darling, right? I heard, that's funny that you said that. So, wow, here's the sun as we are bringing it into a harmonious expression of life. That's beautiful. The idea for thought that's given, this is how the guidebook is set up. Again, this is not a thin book, so this is a great resource to use for these ongoing spiritual conversations. This one is a little thicker than the first one, I think. But she has the affirmation, the description, and then food for thought in each of these sections. Describe yourself in 3 to 5 adjectives, and then ask a handful of trusted people to describe you. Okay, trusted people, to describe you. Do you recognize the qualities that they observe? Are there any qualities that you would like to embody more? What can you do to accomplish that? It's interesting because back when I was in therapy, one of the times I was in therapy, hello, everybody should get some therapy at some point in your life. The therapist was doing social therapy, which is more about how you respond in the world. And the whole premise is that we can reshape ourselves to do things that aren't necessarily natural to us, but through observation and then acting as if we're more comfortable, or seeing a model of a person who is embodying a way that we would like to be and then beginning to do it. The premise is that it may not ever get to a point where it feels completely natural, but it can get to a place where it's comfortable and authentic for you. So if you're not maybe an extroverted person and speaking publicly is hard for you, well, then you can pretend as if or act as if until it becomes comfortable for you. Now, you never want to false mask or do anything. That's not the purpose of it. It's about acquiring personality traits in a way that's compassionate to yourself, and still remains authentic. So in my case, one of the people who I modeled myself after when I was in my years prior to my divorce was my best friend, because she was like very empowered and independent. She didn't take any crap from anybody. And I didn't see that in myself at the time because I was in a dynamic where that was not supported. I was very dealing with low self-esteem and abuse and all kinds of stuff. And so I started to kind of like, okay, I'm gonna act more like her, or I'm gonna, if she could do it, yeah, right? And that process has continued to the point where now I'm more bold, or assertive would be the right answer, to be able to say no, because I watched her say no firmly many, many times, right? So I'm beginning to embody in my own way. And if I get too much into her way, then it's like, sit down somewhere. You're not even that hard, right? So learning to get qualities that I wanted to have more of in a way, instead of trying to go stress myself to learn something and acquire a skill and then judging myself because I didn't do it right. That's not the kind of holistic experience that it's talking about in terms of us embodying more of ourselves and feeling more empowered, right? And it says to focus on a relationship in your life and contemplate what you bring to this relationship. Do you think that the other person agrees? And what is the other person contributing, right? Exchange of energy. If you desire a romantic relationship, consider what another person can bring into your life that you cannot accomplish by yourself, if anything. Are you available emotionally for a relationship? Hello. A lot of us think we are, but are we? Do you have baggage? Did you bring it into the emotional relationship? This is the time to bring it up. Do your healing, your sacral. Yes. So, oh, you wanted to ask a question. If you want to ask a question, sure. Sorry, so I'm monitoring the chat too. So, right, being empowered and moving forward. So these are the messages between this solar and lunar eclipse portal as the veils are dropping in ever increasing frequency is elevating, and we're coming more and more online to our true nature and experiencing our potentialities expanding. Sorry, I have to say what I'm what I'm getting. One moment, sorry. Potentialities expanding. Yes, there is no limit to the things that we can do with rightly aligned sacral energy. And as long as we're connected to that feminine aspect, there is no separation in source in terms of gender polarity. It is balanced in its manifestation, and both are needed to bring things into form in the construct that we are currently experiencing as our reality paradigm. Okay, so I love this. And it's so interesting because these two also have there's a balance in the energy between the centers and the orbs even, just like there is a balance in the synergy here as well. Oh, all right. So these are our current messages for the now moment. In response to Aditya, thank you for asking. I'm not doing personal readings today with this message, but if you tune in next week, I'll make sure. I haven't done an open card pull in a few weeks, so I will put that on schedule for next Wednesday, and we'll figure out what decks. Spirit will let me know what decks to use, and I'll bring it in. Today, I just was guided very specifically to use these, as I said, these two particular aspects of form and feeling, from artist LON. If you're looking for decks, I'm sure you can see that this is, a beautiful, beautiful resource to use. I am going to go ahead and draw one last card from the relationships deck, since it is my first day using it, and we'll see what the crowning message is over our little 4-card spread here. I'll show them all to you here in a minute. So we've got 27, 21, 3, 2. So 9, 3, 3, 2. So we've got the 3, 3 in the middle. And 3, 3 has definitely been coming up, as I said, a master number. So the crowning messages for us to close out tonight's conversation with the solar and lunar eclipse portal in full spring, as we rise forward to create the new consciousness that is based on unity, love for all, because all are one. All right, last shuffle. You love when a card has a good snap to it. All right. Ooh, sensitivity. Wow. Oh, that's so watery and shimmery. I was just thinking, I was like, you need a man with sensitivity. A man, who was that? New Edition, Bobby Brown, Man with Sensitivity or something like that. That's the new Divine Masculine template, which, and I can see there's like the Merkaba behind here. As you see the sacred geometry triangles happening. Here, I can't get the glare, you know. Yes, you could kind of see. It was Ralph Tresvant. Yes, Man with Sensitivity. Okay. Let's put it, I mean, Ralph wasn't like swollen, muscle bound. He was that sensitive, suave guy, right? So definitely a blend of the sensitive, feminine, feeling guy. Telling these ladies in the 80s, yeah, or 90s, you know, you need a man who understands you at a heart level, not a physical level, right? And it says the frequency of sensitivity helps us to open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation. Thus supporting us to become more fully multidimensional. I love that. So we're like in water and activation. It's like the sun shining on the top of the water, even in the card. So sensitivity, and that's 35, which is an 8. Okay. Bringing masculine and feminine into balance, harmony, activating the Merkaba, the light body. And also, we have the Lion's Gate coming up at the end of the summer, which is always an opportunity for us to kind of up level and activate different things with intention and purpose. So let's see here what it says about sensitivity. I mean, intuition and sensitivity kind of go hand in hand, right? All right. So I am sensitive. So I am intuitive, I am powerful, and I am sensitive. All of those things in one. So sensitivity refers to the quality of being easily affected or influenced by touch, sounds, lights, taste, or sense. In a more expanded context, sensitivity can refer to our awareness of energy in a physical space or related to another person. As we evolve as human beings, our consciousness expands and our sensitivity develops toward an increasing ability to receive information coming to us from a much wider and often very subtle change of reality. An essential part of the human journey is living a life guided by emotions, our powerful navigational system. Much of the input for the way we perceive the world comes from our feelings and our emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. Thus, our emotions can help us move energy, dissolve energetic blocks, and make new energetic connections. By becoming aware of our emotions, we can adjust our cause of action accordingly and appropriately. While this navigational system is an essential and powerful tool to help us find our way, it is easy to get overwhelmed and drown in the ocean of emotional ebbs and flows. It is for us to learn how to be a witness to the world, including ourselves, with sensitivity, discernment, and compassion, yet to observe without attachment and feel without getting consumed. Okay, that is a good challenge for me, because when I start to focus too much in on the 3D matrix, that's when I get upset and I get angry, and there's nowhere for that anger to go. And I'm just reflecting the nowhere where the anger is go in our conscious predominant reality. So then I step back into the internal conversation, and it's like, are you okay? Is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not personally angry, but so why make myself get riled up by reflecting that emotion? Step back into, and we talked earlier about how that resonance, that vibrational that comes forward from that creational spark brings energy back to us. So it says that the water, which is predominant, indicates the world of feelings and emotions that are at the core of our sensitivity. All the circles refer to the feminine aspects of receptivity, nurturing and open expression, helping us to tap into our intrinsic understanding of our expansive connection to all of creation. The lines form a pattern that is known as Metatron's cube. Hold on, let me look in here. I see the Merkaba, but I don't know that I see the Metatron's true, but I'm gonna go with what she's saying here, because the Metatron's cube is a little more complex, and it might just be the subtleness. It's in the bubbles in the back, because I say it's not in the line structure, but you can see the circles emerging from into form behind it. Okay. The lines form a pattern that is known as Metatron's cube. Within this shape, all laws and patterns for creation can be found, as well as all Platonic solids. Plato considered these to be a fundamental building blocks of nature, and in the larger scope, the universe. Metatron's cube is the structure on which we, as spiritual beings, come into form in a three-dimensional world. Spirals indicate the flowing nature of the feminine. Blue is associated with communication and expression, as well as with clarity. Pink is associated with the divine feminine attributes of love and nurturing, stillness and receptivity. And the brighter pink brings in aspects of aliveness, excitement, high energy, and power. In every relationship, it is valuable to be sensitive to the needs and desires of yourself as well as the other. It serves us greatly to understand what we are attracted to or seeking in the other and what they are looking for in us. If we can easily sense where the other person is, what their thought processes are, how they arrived at a certain opinion or conclusion, what had triggered their emotional response, and how they are feeling, as well as understand and stay sensitive to our own experience and contribution, our relationship can be vital and alive, contributing profoundly to our growth. Our sensitivity can be a valuable tool to fine-tune our awareness of the subtler aspects of our world. We can train our sensitivity by focusing our attention inward and becoming aware of the sensations that are going on inside of us when we are doing something. A relationship can provide many valuable and fun opportunities to train our sensitivity. Okay. And if you are in a dynamic where you're in a twin flame or a counterpart situation, then definitely the sensitivity through the connectedness of the unified energetic body is something that you have to get used to because it is definitely increased sensitivity. And the food for thought, do you consider yourself sensitive? Are you sensitive to sounds, light, touch, electricity, scents, electrical devices? Are you sensitive to other people's emotions? Are you even tempered, or do you change moods frequently? Try this with a partner. Ask your partner to close your eyes or blindfold them and provide different sensory experiences. You can whisper something in their ears or use a feather or a silk cloth to stimulate their senses. Experiment with different massage techniques: soft, hard, slow, fast, superficial, deep, and so on. Pay close attention to your partner while doing all of this. Notice their breathing, facial expressions, any sounds they make, and now reverse the roles. Both experiences, one from a giving perspective and one from a receiving one, will add to understanding the different aspects of sensitivity. Okay, so receiving and giving, senses, intuition, and of course, we had that sensitivity, and we're talking about that sacral chakra. That was a little bit of sacral chakra energy there at the end. If you experiment, and all I could see was like the whole little 9.5 weeks scene with the good part, right? With the blindfold and the strawberries and the refrigerator and all that stuff, not the end part, right? You might have to be a certain age to know what movie that was. But yes, okay, so our sensitivity, our chakras, and then our balanced gifts. What a beautiful download. All right. Yeah, there's that relationship. Yes, yes. Always, everything is always relationship, right? So, all right. That is the messages today from the sacred geometry activations. These were beautiful cards. I recommend them. I've been using the regular one like near daily for about 4 or 5 days, maybe longer. I guess there's some structural activation component that's coming through because of the whole geometric mathematic kind of thing that's happening. So I just go with the flow. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? So I thank each of you for joining me this evening. I don't think I have anything scheduled till next week for, yes, next week for In the Cars on Wednesday. Of course, if something comes up, if I'm guided to do another message, I'll put it here and we will do reading day. So I'll just draw cards for whoever's in the room and we'll see what deck spirit wants me to use to deliver messages for you. And if you have any decks that you want me to check out, I know I've got several people lined up that we're just trying to get our calendars together. Christopher, who is Animal Beard brand, Animal Beard guy, I think is his Instagram. He has the Zombie Oracle deck, and I'm going to have him on so we could talk shop about that. It's a weird little quirky zombie tarot by a really cool artist. So I know he's coming up in hopefully the next few weeks. So take care, everybody, and know that the light in me absolutely sees the oneness and honors the light in you. Namaste.